Welcome to the Vault Excel. I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. And I also hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please check my community page for said updates to breaking news, take the polls, and also follow me on the Newsbreak app where I am a contributor. Last night, I briefly listened to Seth Rogers' live stream, and in that live, I could see and hear the anger in his voice, facial expressions. He also blamed Chris and Katie for where he is today. He should be angry because his child, Sebastian, is still missing, almost 21 months. And it's really hard to fathom anyone being missing that long, almost 2 years. It doesn't even seem like I've been talking about this child missing for almost 2 years. It's a very scary situation. It's a situation I don't wish on anyone. I don't know what it is to be in his shoes, but I could see the pain in his face. I could hear the pain in his voice, especially when he was talking about the child, getting up out of bed and going into the restroom, and he knew when the child was up, and him going in the room to tickle him to get him up. That sounds genuine to me. Does not sound fake or make believe. So if you listen to that live last night, you would have to assert that this man is grieving a missing child. It's a place no one should be in. Missing a child or missing a family member or a friend. I don't know where this investigation is going. I have no idea where it stands with the local authorities, FBI. He mentions all of those said entities, that there should be equilibrium between all. Everyone should be wanting to help find his son. There shouldn't be one trying to get all the accolades and finding Sebastian, and I totally agree. And possibly that is what's going on. I can't say. I don't know if there's competition between Hendersonville Sheriff's Office and the TBI and other organizations, but there shouldn't be any competition. The main goal should be finding this kid, and that's it. Diligently finding Sebastian. I was listening to Vinnie Politan the other day, and he had his guest on the panel, the Tangency. And the one thing I found interesting is that they never said anything derogatory in their commentary about the Proudfoods. But when they addressed the parent, they only mentioned Seth. And that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know. That he's the only one fighting for this kid. And it's a shame because the child came here by his mother through her womb and had a step parent. But the only person rallying for him at this moment is Seth Rogers. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame. And it tells you everything you need to know. I would tell people, pay attention to the details. You can hear the pain, see the tears, see that he's angry. He tells you he's angry. He wants something done. He's going to fight for his kid, whether he's alive or deceased. And as he said, you don't want him gone, Katie, Chris, because he knows somebody will stand in the gap for his child. and rightfully so. As I told you all a few weeks ago, when I was in the convenience store, I was standing at the counter and there was a machine up at the counter. I guess you could, it's like a little gambling machine. And Sebastian's information came up on that monitor. And I was so thrilled to see his picture and his identification on that monitor. I was very thrilled. And as Seth said, it's more than just passing out flyers about his missing child. You need to continue to talk about Sebastian Rogers. You need to keep saying his name. Whether we can see him or not, he exists. And that is what gives, the world information is by speaking it. It's in the scriptures and Psalms. Speak it and it shall be so. You claim it when you speak it. So you claim his name, you speak his name, whether he is alive or not alive. You still speak his name to say he exists. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until we know otherwise, he exists. As I said before, I don't wish this type of agony on any human being because I was thinking to myself last night while listening to him speak about his son. I said to myself, it's the not knowing that's unbearable. And I think when we think about many things, that happened to us in life, things we're going through, things we're dealing with, things we're waiting on an outcome, a decision, you're up worried, trying to figure out, okay, what is the decision going to be? What is the decision going to be? It's the waiting, the not knowing is what keeps us up at night, worried. But if you're a child of God, you know you're supposed to turn it over. You turn it over and you let God, famous black saying, let God, exactly. You let God handle it. Because there comes a point in the road where you have to let it go and say, I'm going to let God handle this because I've done all I can do. I can't make myself sick with worry. And I get it. This situation is more daunting than, waiting to find out if you're going to get a job or if you're going to get a house or a bank loan. It's a whole human. But the point is, you have to wait. So while you're waiting, you pray to God for a positive outcome and you let God navigate that ship. And that's what needs to be done here in this situation pertaining to Sebastian. We let God navigate this ship because God's got it. No matter the outcome, he has it. Everyone has his or her opinion about this child, how he got gone, if he's alive or not alive. And actually, the father wants to believe that his child is alive. But when he said he blames Chris and Katie for being in this situation, I've measured that in different ways. You understand? Had these people treated his son with some type of dignity and respect, he wouldn't be in that situation. And then possibly he could be saying to himself, saying it out loud, they are the cause physically of the child not being here, if you understand what I'm saying. And as I've always said, it's up to Seth to decide if he believes his child is alive or deceased. And naturally, he does not want to believe that his child is no longer alive because that's a terrible place to be as well. You don't know where your child is. And then the worst case scenario, thinking that your child's not alive. And as I've always said, if he is alive, then where is he? Who has him? And why would somebody have him? But hell yeah, he blames them. Why wouldn't he? The mother was the last one to have the child. So hell yeah, she's responsible. Because in the end, it's just a version. Every time somebody repeats the narrative portrayed by this female, it is just what it is, a narrative, a version. I like to use the word version. It's a tale, and I believe it's a tall tale. I do not believe it's the truth. And in the end, that's all you have is her version. You check out Vinnie Politan's podcast, Tangency, and them giving their commentary about the bang in the room. Would you have gotten up to go check on your child or not, whether they are autistic or not? Would you have gone in there to check? I'll put that on a poll. Would you have gotten up and gone in the room to see? And this goes back to the version you see. Stay woke, everybody. That's her version of what happened that night. You see, there is no checking on someone if it never happened. There's no checking if the event never took place. So all you have is this woman's version of that night. Just like when they say he was happy that day and where they went to the bowling alley, this and that. To me, that's still a version. You can't tell me how he felt. No one can tell me how he felt on that faithful Sunday. Okay. What his mood was like. Because he's not here to tell Queen or anybody else his mood, how he was feeling, how he was treated, how he was talked to. And before then. Because it's the before then that has us here discussing him. And that's the sad part of the story as well. How he was treated as a human being. I don't think he was treated well. And that's also a terrible place to be. To be walking the earth, breathing, taking in oxygen, and unhappy. And no child should be unhappy. No adult should be unhappy. Because as I always say, we don't choose our parents. We didn't get an option to choose our parents. So therefore, we should have a happy existence, if you understand what I'm saying. But life is cruel. Life is very cruel. And I believe life was cruel to him before he disappeared. And as I have said before pertaining to Seth, I'm sure he has many regrets about the placement of his son. But that's the thing, you can't go back. I believe everything pertaining to that Sunday is falsehood. Make believe. Make believe. And I think many of you who have followed this case, you know that it's make believe. People can tell you anything, what they wore, what they ate, the mood of themselves and the other person. But if the person is not here to tell you, that is a person's version. Hell yeah, this man is angry. He has every right to be. He cannot see or hear his son. And I'm sure he is restless. His spirit is restless. He cannot sleep, cannot eat, cannot function. It's a terrible place to be. And as I said, I don't wish it on anyone. It's to not know it. But I do believe somebody has an idea where this child can be found. And I do believe that lies with Katie and Chris. And I don't know how they walk around sleeping, eating, going on with their lives as if the child did not exist. But you see, this happens every day with people. They move forward because basically that's what they were doing when the person was around. Living as if that person did not exist, although that person was breathing. And yes, that is cruel, but it happens every day. People treat you like you are nothing, nobody, trash, garbage. But you are relevant, whether they think you are not. They don't believe that you are, but you are. And you know it is horrific to think this way of a child, because as I said, a child doesn't have to be here, and a child does not have the option to choose his or her parents. You brought that child here. They didn't choose you. You made the decision to lie down with another person and procreate. And it is your duty, your obligation to take care of the child. And if you cannot fulfill that obligation, then you need to take the necessary steps to make sure that somebody else can take care of your child. I believe an option was chosen by the Craftsmen to opt out. That's my opinion. They opted out. And it's just a terrible thing to think of as well. Persons have chosen to opt out of raising the child. And I'm not talking about placing the child with a family member or adoption. I'm talking about eradicating a human being. This is the world that we're in. People do it every day. And naturally, this man doesn't want to think that about these people eradicating his son. But I'm sure it has crossed his mind. And I thought about that last night when he was speaking. Does he believe that now? That his child is possibly not alive? Excuse me. Shut the door. I don't know if he thinks that. He may never want to say that out loud. But as I said, I felt that in his commentary last night when he blamed them. I blamed Chris. He said his name first, and Katie, for why he feels the way he feels and why he's in the position that he is currently in. Hello, runs with scissors. You are the reason I am here in this dirty, horrific place, mourning my child. I have no verification that he is alive or dead, but you are the reason for the season. I agree. I totally agree. You two are the reason for the season, and you have just gone on your merry way. As if he never lived. Hello, Pebbles. He never existed to them. So hell yeah, they can go on, ride motorcycles and eat out. As you see, last time Miss thing was on TV, she was quite chunky. So somebody's been eating green eggs and ham. I said that, and I mean every damn word. Well, what is Sebastian eating? Katie and Chris, enlighten Queen, please. I'm woke now. What has he been eating? Oh, I don't hear anything. What has Sebastian been eating? Katie and Chris, tell me. I've got a whole lot of time. I've got nothing but time. What has he been doing for almost 21 months? Almost 21 months. What has Sebastian Rogers been doing? I don't hear anything. But you two have been living, breathing, sucking up free oxygen that you don't deserve. And somebody could say, well, Queen, that's not fair. You shouldn't say that. God determines it all. Yes, he does, but I'm human and I'm entitled to my damn opinion. And they don't deserve free oxygen. I say that. And I mean every damn word. Who are you to be walking around sucking up free oxygen? And we don't know where Sebastian is. Come on, preach, Queen. I'm waiting. What gives you the right to wake up, sleep in a nice bed, nice home, air conditioning, heat, brush your teeth, go in the kitchen, eat what you want to eat, drive nice cars, wherever you want to go? Why do you get that option? You want to loaf around and lay on the couch and just stare at the ceiling, Katie. Why do you get that option? I'm waiting. This is the devil's work. This child missing. This ain't nothing but the devil's work. But I believe in my spirit that God is going to fix this. He is going to fix this. And I was also thinking about Summer Wells. Two children in the same state of Tennessee, living in the same state that the Queen lives in. I'm in the middle. One was farther east, one's Middle Tennessee, but it's like a weird connection to these kids. And where is she? Same game, different part of the state. Her parents eating and sloughing off dead skin cells. Where is she? When I traveled to Summer's home a few months back, several months back, spring, May. Just standing out there looking at that little bench that, people had put little things out there a while back. It was a coldness at the edge of that driveway. You see, I'm a very intuitive person, if you haven't noticed that. And I can feel things. And when I stood there at that driveway, there was a coldness. Icicles. Looking at the little things placed out there on that bench or whatever, it was icicles. It was make-believe. For show. Do you understand what I'm saying? That bench placed there is for show. Let me use present tense. The bench outside the Wells house is for show. When I looked at the street, typical Tennessee road, no line in the middle, I knew better. I knew better. That's why I always tell people, seeing is believing. Not he said, she said, and listening to other people spin a story about what it looks like. You got to stand there to understand. But I knew before I got there what I was going to feel when I got there. Because I live here in Tennessee, and I know what it's like in Tennessee. Everything looks the damn same, it's just a different address. It's cold back there. You know why it's cold? Because it ain't nothing back there but concrete and trees. You can't see nothing. So when I stood there and I looked at the road and I saw how narrow it was, I knew better. I knew, just like what I know about Sebastian. And his road is more residential than where Summer lives, where she lived. Ain't nobody went back there and got Summer, and ain't nobody went and got Sebastian. Checkmate. Nobody. Definitely ain't nobody went and got Summer. Because you can't even see the house from the road. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't know what's up that broke up gravel. Could have been nothing up there but flat land. So ain't nobody kidnapped no kid. Matter of fact, I couldn't see nobody other houses back there. All you could see are driveways. So that means you don't even know what's back there until you crawl your tail up the road to see what's at the top of the damn hill. So we can scratch kidnapping off Summer's list. Sebastian, I say the same damn thing. That's why it's quiet. TBI, Hendersonville, whoever's involved, they ain't saying nothing because it ain't nothing to tell you. Because if they say it, then everybody's going to be like, oh. We have looked at the surveillance cameras of the neighbors and ain't nobody coming or going nowhere. Ain't nobody coming or going. We don't see the mother walking out. We don't see the son walking out. We don't see nobody doing nothing. Are you all paying attention? You can best believe law enforcement has a good idea what happened to Sebastian Rogers, just like Summer Wells. Because we live in a modern day, as I mentioned in my last live last night. We live in a modern society. We live in a society filled with CCTV footage, cameras here, there. And when you have nothing going and coming, you have to use deduction and common sense. There's no magic. Summer didn't just poof, voila, disappeared out of her house through magic, and nor did Sebastian Rogers. And what's the difference between these two cases? One parent crying on a live stream, angry as hell, and the other one, dead silence. You don't hear nothing. Anybody paying attention? Little girl missing. Parents don't got nothing to say now. Talked you to death on YouTube. Couldn't stop talking. Racist, nasty heathens. Then this little boy goes missing. Stepfather on YouTube, nasty, rude, cussing up a storm. One audio I heard recently, just disgusting. And the first thing I thought, this child lived in the house with this heathen. So don't tell me nothing about how Sebastian was feeling on that Sunday. Miss me with that BS. I don't want to hear it. He was happy. He was this. Well, he's so happy. Where is he? See, this is what these fools don't count on, are people like Queen. I dissect everything from your shoe, your toe, to the top of your skull. I watch everything. I look at everything. How you walk, how you talk, how you sit, what you say, what you don't say. And that's what a heathen ain't expecting, to be dissected. Hell yeah, I'm gonna dissect you. You wanna put this confoolery out to the masses, I'm gonna dissect you. You think you have bamboozled and hoodwinked some of us, not I. I could play the fool in many circumstances, but not when it comes to these missing children. Hell no. I'm woke. I'm about all of my faculties. Where is Sebastian? Chris, Katie? Where is this child? How long are we going to keep playing these reindeer games? Because I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored. And I don't have time for this nonsense. And I'm sure the father is tired. He's weary. He's restless, as he should be. Excuse me. Everybody's messaging the Queen. Lord have mercy. Now this person here, I'm not even about to say this on a live stream. Everybody's playing games on the phone as I rudely interrupted. Katie, Chris, where's this boy? Well, where is this child? How long are you all going to keep up this charade? Because I know you don't care. That's obvious. That's why he's not here. And I think you get some delight out of looking at Seth cry and go on and fall about on a live stream. And that's sick as hell to sit there and watch a person crying and going on and on about their missing child. And you just sitting there listening to it, getting a thrill out of it. You have to be. What type of human can you be? One, to do something to a child and then to sit there and watch their parents sit up on a damn live stream crying about their child. And you ain't got nothing to say. Nothing positive to say. You have nothing to say because you know he's not coming back, isn't it? Isn't that right? We plead the fifth. We don't have anything to say. Oh, I know you don't have anything to say. But I'm going to say it for you. What is done in the dark will surely come to the light. That there is no hiding under the eyes of God. Let me make that clear. Whatever happened on that faithful night or early morning, Monday morning, it's going to come to the light. It may not come in 2025. It may not come in 2026. Oh, but you can best believe when you least expect it, Katie and Chris, the truth is going to come to the light. And you two will have to stand account. Whatever the hell you did to this baby boy, okay? Yeah, I call him a baby boy because he's a child. He's a child of God first. In my last live last night, almost 2 hours, check it out. I'll talk about Celeste Rivas and Donald Trump and this tariff incentive. And naturally, you know, Queen kind of veered off the subject. And it's relatable to this case here about knowing people, meeting people, talking to people. At the end of that live, I told you to be careful about befriending people. And I'm going to tie it into this case and I'm going to check out of here. Sometimes it's best to just say hello and goodbye, such as my situation moving into this new apartment building. I was warned not to get involved with the people. Nice place, but as I told you all, I understand what the assistant manager was trying to tell me because I've already lived it in the last place. You have to be careful who you befriend because you don't know people. And what did I say in the live last night? What you think of a person from the moment you meet them up until the time you start dealing with them and realize you're dealing with a fool, a heathen, you think back to, I liked you better when I just threw my hand up and said hello or waved at you feet away. Hello, Katina. I think about that in this case. Imagine all the people who have met Katie, Chris, Seth, and they just waved hello. And then they got to know them, some type of form of fashion. Neighbor, co-worker, family member, grew to like them, grew to dislike them. But imagine where they sit today, the people that know Chris and Katie. Pay attention now. I thought I knew her. Oh my God, I thought I knew him. Did you hear that Chris guy on the live stream on YouTube? Just role play with Queen for a little while. This person is talking to another person about the proud feet, proud foots. I heard it on YouTube. You did? Well, I don't really watch YouTube like that. Oh, honey, you got to check out that live stream. They was on this live stream. He was talking so bad about that step kid. What? Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure. Check it out. Go to such and such and such and such channel. Well, I don't understand what you're saying. Why would he be talking about his stepson? Oh, honey, you just got to go listen. He said horrible things about that boy. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I will go listen. Just imagine the people who have listened to this weeble wobble toy talking bad about the stepson and stepson's missing. Oh, yeah. You realize you didn't know Christopher. Yeah, you didn't know Katie. Okay? Oh, I thought they were a happy family. Oh, I thought they were good, upstanding people. Because the one thing I sure ain't heard from nobody is that they're good Christian folks. Shut your mouth. I ain't heard that from nobody. I ain't heard it from Vinnie Politan. I ain't heard it from Banfield. I ain't heard it from nobody, baby. Not one news outlet in Nashville has said the proud feet were Christian. Come on, Queen. Bring it on home. Because you got to have God first. And some of you may not believe in God. That's your choice, but I do. You ain't heard that they're Christian people. They believe in God. Allah. So see, as I said before, this is all the devil's work. You see, the devil uses people. And he uses people with 2 feet, 2 hands. And they look like they're humans, but they ain't. They are not human. They are of the flesh, but they are demons. And they walk by you every day. They live beside you. They even sleep with you. Oh, now, come on, Queen. They deliver your mail. They teach your children in the schoolhouse. And hell, you might even be a demon listening to this live stream. Thinking you alright. But you know you ain't alright. You know you are a sociopath, psychopath, perpetrating that you are alright. And guess we're all flawed and have horrible thoughts. We've done wrong, sin, stole, robbed, coveted, had affairs, got high on drugs, call a spade a spade. But the point is, you repent somewhere down the line. Ain't no repenting with the proud feet. Because your actions show your mindset. Always remember that. It's your walk that proves how you live. And these people aren't saying a damn thing about this boy. Because that's how they've been living when he was visible. Checkmate. You don't know people. And I'm sure there are many people sitting here right now thinking they knew Chris and Katie. But now they know different. They don't say nothing about that boy. They don't say nothing until it's what? An anniversary. Then, oh, let's sit in front of the news and talk about Sebastian. So basically, that's what Katie's doing. She gonna wait till what? February of 26 to decide to go talk to the news about her son. But in between 12 months, you ain't got nothing else to say about your kid. Hello, Evie. You have nothing else to say about your kid. Thank you, sweetheart. You have nothing to say about your kid. 12 whole months. You not going to the schoolhouse. You don't go on speaking engagements. You don't go on radio shows. You don't go on, viable podcasts to talk about your missing son. You got people every day with missing kids, missing children, missing family members. They found them deceased, whatever. They talking about their family, not these two. They ain't got nothing to say. Just got a father crying on his own damn live stream. See, I knew there was some smoke when I didn't see Seth standing with Chris and Katie in the interviews. See, there's your proof. And that was early on. And then all the gossip started about Chris, his past, wives, girlfriends, whatever. I said, oh, Lord, here we go. Not another one of these type of stories. You all let the story tell itself before we even got confirmation of anything from the damn police. Because, you got those little nosy busybodies that love to scroll the internet and go on Facebook, IG, and try to see who's related to who. And let's go look at the pictures on Facebook. And that's exactly what the heathens did. They went snooping. And that was the first ugly thing I heard was about Christopher and his past relationships and court proceedings with CPS. And I said, oh, God, here we go. Another Summer Wells. I mean, they didn't even let the news tell us nothing. It's like reality TV. Used to be when you watch the reality show, they didn't recognize the camera. Y'all know what I'm saying? They didn't recognize the camera. Even if they were embarrassed by something, they didn't put their hand up or push the cameraman away. Well, now on reality TV, they do that. And now they let you know about the blogs and the podcasts. They put it in there because we're in an internet world. They have to go ahead and talk about it. They have to acknowledge, okay, we're on a reality show. That's exactly what happened with this kid. Before you can even get a chance to get any viable information, here come the he said and the she said and the gossip. And I knew it was getting ready to go to shit. As soon as I started hearing about the CPS and the other kid and all this, I said, oh, well, here we go. And you never saw Seth with the parents on the news, which is a bad sign that there is smoke in the city. Thank you, Jackie. There is smoke. And where there is smoke, there is fire. Always has been, always will be. And anybody sitting around rallying for these two people still, you need your ass whooped. You want to sit at the table with the wicked, that's on you. And that's in the scripture too. It's in Psalms. Thou shalt not sit at the table with the wicked. I'm woke. I don't fool with nobody that's got a whole kid missing and they don't say nothing about them. I'm not going to eat with you. I'm not going to hang with you. I'm not going to call you on the phone. I'm not going to talk to you on Facebook. I'm not going to talk to you on Messenger. I'm not going to talk to you about a damn thing. Now, you other cuckoo birds can write love letters to the Proud Feets, the Foots, the Whales, whoever. You want to be sick and demented, that's on you. But guess what? You got to stand account for that too. And that's between you and God. Ain't got to do with me. I know somebody right now that's a straight base head, drug head. She got a whole missing son right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, I'm saying it on the live. Whoever want to go back and tell her, I don't care. The family members, they want to get mad. I don't give a fuck because I'm tired of biting my damn tongue about stuff because I have to pick and choose what to say and not to say on a live stream and it's not to get sued. I don't care. I'm saying it. You got a whole son missing here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Everybody knows he's missing. You don't even talk about it. You don't even talk about him. He's a grown guy. He's a black guy. He's a grown man. But the point is, he's still her son. You watch the news interviews, she's the last one to speak about her son. You should be the first one to speak. He's your son. But see, I know your little dirty secret. Because I done seen you in action. You probably didn't know it was Queen. I don't miss nothing. I keep trying to tell folks, Queen is everywhere. You too busy buying drugs. Yeah, I saw you. That's why you can't talk about your missing son. Now I said it. And I own it. You can't talk about your missing son because you're a dope fan. Very reason why I don't even talk about that case on my channel. I probably mentioned it once. You're a dope fan. So he's not a priority. So to me, you're no different than the proud feet. You're no different than the whales. They have minor children missing. Your son is an adult. But it's how you walk. It's how you talk. Now, I empathize with the other family members because they really want to know where this young man is. I don't believe he's alive. I believe he's unalive. I heard some other things that weren't so nice said about him recently. But I don't do all that he said, she said. But somebody knows where he is. Okay? And I'm also going to address the girlfriend too. I'm going to address you on this live stream. It's supposed to be about Seth, but I'm going to go there today. I believe you know what happened to your boyfriend, your baby daddy. Because I find it interesting as well that you never talk to the news. You had a newborn. You don't want to share that with the world and say, well, my boyfriend is missing and this is his baby and blah, blah, blah. It's the relatives doing all the talking. I keep trying to tell everybody, Queen woke, baby. I don't miss nothing. Because, see, your house was the last place he was leaving when he went missing. So I got a feeling you know something about that young man missing. I always tell people, when you hear of a person missing, all you need to do is watch the messenger. It'll tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you who cares and who don't care. The person that is rallying the hardest is the person that cares for the missing. The people you don't see, you don't hear anything, they're the people that don't give a damn. And that's my opinion. And I get it. Everybody's different. Everybody grieves different. Some people don't like the media. Some people don't want to be on the camera. But you can't say you care about somebody and you won't even speak about them. I feel sorry for Seth because he is in a terrible place, because he is fighting a fight alone. And he should not be fighting this fight alone because the child has a biological mother. And it just ain't right. It's despicable, quite frankly. And God don't like ugly. And God don't settle this one way or the other. You can believe that. So whoever is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian, know that your days are numbered. And if it ain't on this earth, it's definitely going to be thereafter. And that's what you really should be concerned about. It's the thereafter. What was it said in the Bible? The person that laid in hell just asked for a tip of water because it was that hot in hell. Just a tip of water. Now I want you to think about that. Because see, when we're living, we don't think about the hereafter, thereafter. We're only thinking about the now. Well, it's the now you need to be focused on, because you ain't going to stay here forever. What you do now is going to depict later. So you thinking about your life, doing what you want, coming and going, acting a damn donkey's ass. You better think about later. You better think about, am I going to make it to heaven? Or I'm going to make it to hell. So if you think your life is jacked up now, imagine you don't repent. You don't try to do yourself right and do right by others. You got to stand before God later. He decide, well, I don't want you up here with me. I don't want you up here with me. You go to the other place. I don't think you're going to like it down there. Because there ain't no water down there and ain't no air conditioning. And I can't imagine burning eternally. Some of you may not believe in it. I do. Until I see otherwise, I have to find out on my own. Because that's what's wrong with the world. Everybody is living for now. And that's what happened to this child. Those heathens were living for now. And they got rid of him. And as I said in my commentary before, recently about Sebastian, I don't believe he made it home. That's why you don't hear anything from the police department, sheriff's department, TBI, saying anything about the mother, stepfather's child going in or out of the building, the house. Because he never made it back. I don't think he made it back. Jackie says he needs more support. He's alone and broken. Some people are so heartless and find pleasure in his pain. Yes, I agree. Well said. I do believe a lot of people, Seth has been judged harshly as well. And a lot of people have had, very ugly things to say about him at the beginning of this investigation, things that transpired through social media and backhanded gossip, and he said, she said, of people who got involved with the case pretending that they were trying to help Seth. And it just became a A1 circus, just like the Wells case. And as I have said before, this is not the place where true crime should play out. But this is why I keep trying to tell you people, you don't know people. If you knew half of the shit about people, you wouldn't even really be talking about these people on broadcast, podcasts, or nothing. And that's why I made the comment I made about a certain person missing here in Knoxville. If you knew the people around the missing man, you'd be like, damn. Because that's the whole point. People are flawed. But you as an outsider, you don't know that because you don't know the people. You don't know the person that's missing. You don't know how the person was living. You start hearing the he said and the she said, and then you start forming your own ideology about the subject matter. Well, this case is no different. Wells' case, no different. Because we don't know these people. But then you get people to start talking, then you start wondering, like, oh my goodness, what's really going on? But no matter your opinion of Seth, he is the only one rallying for his child. So I'm going to rally behind Mr. Rogers. Because we are all human and we all make mistakes. And he's not on trial. His child is missing. And that's what should be the focus. His son is missing. And he is in pain. He is suffering. He is weary. And he probably does feel alone. He's probably questioning God as well. Why me? Why did you put this on me? But I like what he said in his live stream last night, that God, you're probably making me suffer for a reason. Exactly. Well said. God has Seth in this place for a reason. It's a horrible test indeed. But he has him in this place for a reason. What that reason is, I don't know. But he says, I don't put no more on you than you can bear. Some deep words. Because I'm sure he's saying to himself and to God, I'm tired of being in this place. I don't want to be in this place. I can't bear living without my son. I want to see my son. I want to hear my son. I want to hug, kiss my son. Why am I in this place? Only God knows that reason. But yes, indeed, he is using him. He is using him for this season. Because you know, that's also in the scripture, that this too shall pass. The season that you're in. Because sometimes God puts us through things to show us something. Maybe it's something that we should have been doing, but we didn't listen. You know, not here to preach, but just saying. He shows us things. He has his own way of doing things. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree. But yes, I believe he's using Seth. He's trying to show him something. And I know he's going to do the same for the proud feet. He's going to work on them too. And you always have to remember something about God's word. You don't have to be a living witness to see how he's using people. Because a lot of people want to see the pain and the suffering when we believe that people have done wrong and they have striked us. You don't have to see the pain. But believe me, they are probably suffering as well. Some of you may not believe that. Well, Katina, they're not going to talk. They're comfortable now. I remember several years ago, I had a turbulent situation with a young man. And I remember something he said to me. He said, just because I don't tell you that I have wronged you does not mean I don't know that I've wronged you. Well, now, because a lot of times we think about that when people have struck us. Do they know that they have wronged us? I know they don't care. Well, I don't think they care. But do they know they have wronged us? Of course they do. They may never admit it out loud, but they know they have wronged us. Always remember that. And you don't worry about if they will ever apologize, if they'll ever admit it to you or out loud or to somebody else. So long as you know you did right by the person, that's all that matters. Because in the end, they have to stand account for what they have done. And that's a place you don't have to be, or a cross you don't have to bear. So just like Seth is in this horrible place, miserable, weary, lonely, angry, pissed off, the Proudfoots are probably in the same place. They're just not showing it to the public. Checkmate. My prayers are with Seth and his family that they get factual information to where their child can be found. If indeed the child is not alive, I pray for recovery of the boy child, and I pray that there will be justice for whoever harmed, has knowledge, aided in after the fact. To Sebastian. And I mean that. If you knew, you aided, you concocted, you helped in any form or fashion to get rid of this boy, you stand account. And may God have mercy on your soul. Because I will have no pity for you. Because I am of the flesh. And I judge. Just like you would judge me. Hello, 73. Prayers for Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers. Prayers for a young man that's still missing here in East Tennessee by the name of Chad Carr. Still no information about him. No updates. Prayers for information about Celeste Rivas Hernandez in California. May there be justice for her if indeed she was unalive, dismembered, and disposed of. Anyone involved in that case, may they also stand account. Please check out my live pertaining to Celeste Rivas from last night. You don't know people. And I'm sure, as I said in this live, that many people have probably come to the realization about the Proudfoots. They don't know them either. Probably wish they never even met them. And the one thing you can best believe, nobody will be dropping off their children at the Proudfoots' home. Pay attention. Isn't that right, KB Chris? Nobody will be leaving their children with you two. And sadly, that woman who has a child by Chris, I will do everything in my power to make sure my child never sets foot on Tennessee soil. And I told the judge, you cannot make me send my child nowhere where another child is missing. Checkmate. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. I give commentary over there on that app. You can also subscribe to my channel over there. You can reach me on Instagram, big.sexy.71. If you have any information pertaining to this case, Summer Wells case, Chad Carr, or any missing individual, you can leave me the information over there on Instagram. I will respond. God got this. And Seth, you need to know that. God got this, honey. So you go to bed at night knowing God got it. He's going to take care of this. And when you wake up in the morning, you give thanks for life and know that God got this. that he's going to take care of you and your child. And he's going to give you the answers that you need pertaining to Sebastian. It may not be today, it may not be in 2026, but he will bring you the answers that you need. As for the Proudfoots, I have nothing to say positive, except for repent, reveal. Check my community page for said polls, updates, and a movie of the week. Thank you for your time. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful week. You have been listening to the Fall Excel. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you. Oh, girl, stop it. Well, how would they know where he's at? Now, I was trying to get off this live stream. Katie, how would they know? Before I check out of here, I'm an hour and 11 minutes in. I didn't drop the link because a lot of times people don't like to come up. But before I go, if there's anybody that would like to speak on this panel before I check out of here, I'll gladly give you that opportunity. 38 viewers. So nobody can say, well, she didn't give me an opportunity to say anything. If you have something you'd like to add to this live stream pertaining to Sebastian Rogers and Seth's commentary from last night, I will drop the link and give you that opportunity to speak. It's up to you. Jackie, Smack Talker. I don't have no takers. Shut your mouth. I wish Seth would come on. He's probably at work. Hold on, everybody. I can't keep a pen worth of yarn. I just can't. Oh yes, I know, Kelly. Yes, I think I shed a tear as I was lying in the bed. Sometimes I just lie in the bed, and just close my eyes, and that's what I was doing. Hold on one second, everybody. Type this out for a second. Yeah, it was hard to watch, I must admit. Says, yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time. Hold on 1 minute, everybody. Trying to put this up here for you. Yeah, I hadn't heard from him in a while. I'm good, Luminous. Thank you. How are you, hon? He went up and spoke to her and asked her how did she know about Sebastian. Where was this? What is it, Kelly? What do you want to ask? The link is in the chat. You want to hit it? Oh, 2 months ago. Okay. If you have something you want to add to the commentary pertaining to Sebastian Rogers and Seth's live stream last night, the link is in the chat. If you want to hit it and come on up here and talk to the Queen and the viewing audience. That's good to hear, Luminous. Oh, okay. He does live. Yeah, I used to live a few years ago. Wasn't making enough money on that app. Then too, it's very dangerous, putting people in your cars. You just don't know people. And it can go both ways. Passengers can act erratic, and then to the driver, even though the driver's personal information is in the app, still people are sick and crazy. You just don't know. You don't know people. I'm concerned and confused to why some creators have the CPS reports and are talking about them on their lives. What are you confused about? Kelly, hit the link. Can you talk? Or are you at work? Hit the link and you can explain yourself what you're trying to say in the chat. Don't ask her which YouTube channels. Just tell us what you're saying. What do you mean by the CPS reports? What's the point you're trying to make? Just hit the link. Come on up. Allegedly, they're giving the H channels copies of the CPS reports. I don't understand what you're all saying. Somebody hit the link. I don't understand what you're saying. The CPS reports pertaining to Chris and Katie. Okay. CP is 8 channels. Oh, Christopher Proudfoot. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But I thought you were talking about the CPS reports. Maybe I'm missing what you all are saying. Who and has shared information? Luminous. Well, I'm confused about the CPS reports. If they're giving the, so you saying Kate, Chris is giving the reports. The reports would have to be about Seth. Then what are you saying? I'm sure what you're saying. Okay. Yes, I
Hey,
can, sweetheart. How are you? Where are you calling
um,
me from? Where are you calling me from, sweetie?
Alabama.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Vault Excel. Now go ahead and explain to me what you were trying to ask.
Okay, now I don't have good service, so if I lose you, don't be upset or mad at me. Um,
I'm
I just,
I'm not gonna get upset. You can just jump back out. Hello? Well, she said she had bad service. Where kill it, kill it. You must be way back up in the boonies somewhere.
man, amen. If you
Uh,
can hear me, can you hear
yes,
me
honey,
now?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
I just don't understand how. I mean, I haven't watched them. I've just seen and I've heard people talking about the. I hate to say it this way. The other side. We're doing
Uh-huh.
lives about the CPS reports. How in the sand bill did they get them?
People
That's
had
not
dug
our
them up.
business. That's not our
I know,
business,
I know, but listen here, sweetie.
this is about Sebastian.
I
And
know, but listen here.
I have a daughter that has a disability.
Oh, she broke up. She broke up. Well, I'm gonna say this about the CPS reports, just like anything, marriage certificates, whatever. There are people who do this. I basically just say for a living. As soon as they hear a case of a missing child, human, whomever, they start digging up things about them, who they're related to, who they're married to, who's the mama, who's the daddy, and that's how the he said she said unfolds. That's how it unfolded in this case. That's how it allegedly unfolded with the Wells cases and so many other cases. If you didn't know, I mean, I don't know if you're new to YouTube and the true crime genre, whatever. I don't consider myself the true crime community. I want to make that clear. I talk about all types of things on my channel, so I don't want to be included in the true crime community. I used to talk about a lot of missing children, different cases. That's why I changed my channel name from Everyday Shenanigans to the Vault, because I talked about all types of things and I kept talking about serious stuff so much. So that's why I changed my name. But I don't want to be affiliated with the True Crime community, or whatever you call it. I don't want to part of
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Can you hear me
But
now?
yeah, did you hear anything that I
I'm
just said?
Yes, ma'am. I come outside, but no, it
Okay.
just upsets me because I have a daughter that has cerebral palsy, and my heart,
Hello? She's breaking up. Okay, Seth was not allowed to share them. Okay. I got you. Yeah, I heard that. I remember that. Well, that's what I don't understand. If there's something negative in the reports pertaining to Katie and Chris, why would Chris share them to anybody? That wouldn't make any sense. If I'm being accused of a crime inside of the reports, I'm not going to share them with anybody because I don't want you to know that I was abusing a kid. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you all follow where I'm going, that makes no sense. If I've abused a child or there are allegations against me, I'm not going to go give those to YouTubers or bloggers or anybody else to implicate myself. That wouldn't make any sense. Hit the link if you all have anything you'd like to say pertaining to Sebastian Rogers missing and the live stream from last night pertaining to Seth Rogers. The link is in the chat. Allegedly, the reports are on CP and KP made by Sebastian teachers from his reporting on and what they did to him. But there was Cecile, and Seth has a copy by his lawyer who helped him get it. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They sharing the information that makes them look stupid. You've been accused of abusing a kid. Why would you share the reports to somebody? Whomever it is, whether they like Seth or not. I'm not going to give you ammunition to put against me. That makes no sense. If I know I've committed a crime or allegations are against me, whether they are true or not, I'm not getting ready to go share them with you. I'm not going to share them with anybody. But see, they're dodo birds anyway, so they don't like Seth, but you're still making yourself look bad to go give them to people who are saying bad things about Seth. You're still making yourself look bad because you are part of the report with the negativity in it. That don't make no sense. If I'm understanding this correctly. And see, this goes to show you that there's something wrong with the Proudfoots. Why are you rallying with people on social media? You're supposed to be out here trying to find this kid. This shows you where their heads are and where their hearts are, as I have said before many times, a year and a half. Instead of you rallying with people that want to talk bad about Seth and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, why the hell you don't get out here and try to find your damn child? Because that's not where your heart is, because that's not where your heart was. Don't y'all get it? That's the reason why he's missing. There was never no love for the child by these people. So they're not going to talk positive about the child. They're not going to talk positive about Seth. They're not going to talk positive about anybody that cares for Sebastian Roberts. So hell yeah, they're going to go rally with some stupid YouTubers that want to talk bad about Seth. Seth is not the issue. There's a missing child. And if you all care anything about missing children and you have a heart, that's what your concern should be. It's trying to find the damn kid, not trying to get into a group of people like you in third grade, the in crowd. We're not in high school. We're not in elementary school. This is about life. Talk about a missing human. And I don't want to be in an in crowd that likes to bash parents that are trying to find their damn children. What type of in crowd is that? It ain't. The same people rallying with the Proudfoots, they're low lives. People that don't have a life, people that probably weren't liked in school their damn selves. Grown ass bullies. You know I don't bully easily. I can stand on my 2 feet just well. I'm not rallying behind anybody that wants to bash a person that's trying to find their damn kid. That doesn't make any logical sense. That shows you have something mentally wrong with you. You've got some insecurities within yourself that you want to sit up here and bash a person trying to find their damn kid. You don't have to like Seth. The point is, he's the only one rallying for his kid. And the point is, it's not about Seth. It ain't even about the Proudfoots. There is a missing kid out here. No matter who you think did something to him, the point is, he's missing. And that's where the focus should be. But because these people want to act like asses and act like children, they are the topic of conversations pertaining to Sebastian because they were the caretakers. But if they acted civilized, nobody would have anything negative to say about none of them. It's just ridiculous. Cease and desist and taking people to court and all this old crazy nonsense. These are things that shouldn't even be happening because the subject needs to be about this boy. And that's my personal opinion. Exactly. Allow a dog, you get fleas. You're damn right. What you think about CP saying to Seth, what you going to do if this goes south? What do you mean if it goes south? How's it going to go south? It's already south. It's already at its lowest point. Can't go no lower. The only final result is finding out if the child is alive or dead. Is that supposed to be a threat? Thank you, Jackie. Go south. It went south when the CPS reports came out right after the boy went missing. All that came out right after he went missing. Somebody went digging up the CPS reports and all that mess about that woman out west. And then she went on live and told her truth. It went downhill right after that. As soon as the boy went missing, the case went downhill. Here you talking about going south. It's already south. Hell, the case went to hell already. What you mean? This is the very reason why you know these people have done something to this kid, because their direction is not on the child. Hey, Ebony, their direction isn't on the child. The direction is on nitpicking and harassing the father. Who does that when you have a missing kid? Why are you nitpicking on Seth when your stepchild is missing? Help me understand. And why is it always Seth, Christopher said? This ain't nothing but a $2 reality show. Let me tell you what Christopher said. That's all you ever hear on YouTube. Did you hear what Christopher said? Who the fuck is Christopher? He ain't nobody. He can't even work his job for worrying about what the fuck people are saying on YouTube. Now, see, I was calm when this live first started. Now, I got damn agitated. Let me tell you what Christopher said. Well, maybe he should go to Hollywood and get him a damn TV show. And he can tell us all about it. Why does this man keep harassing me? Well, then you won't want it. I'm not meeting nobody to sell nothing. Excuse me, I was reading a message. I'm still shook over the chatter over Katie being pregnant by. What did you talk about, Holly? Katie being pregnant by who? What the hell are you talking about, girl? No, I haven't, Pebbles. He needs to sit down. He has nothing to do with this. He said he wasn't there and he's not even the father. Time for Katie to speak up. Yes, Holly, I agree. In my opinion, KP like her mom, but worse, possibly. What is this? I don't want to repeat what somebody said in the chat because that's just disgusting if it's what I think you said about her being pregnant. Pregnant by whom? Now don't start no nonsense. Hit that link. Sweet Jesus, help me. Oh, Lord. Somebody hit the link so I can understand what y'all talking about. Oh, Lord, this man don't quit messaging me. I will tell you that there's another creator that a person in her chat that made a threat to that creator. Okay. If you upset now, wait till you hear. I'm trying to understand what y'all saying. That's why I want somebody to hit the link so I can understand what you're saying. They came on Queen Bee's panel. Oh, God. And that was one of their theories, and it did not face Chris one bit. Okay. Allegedly, it came out about, oh, that girl, she ain't no trouble anyway. She's always talking. She's been talking nonsense ever since this come. That's why I don't pay no attention. When she came in my chat, her and her croonies flooding the chat, baby. Ain't but one queen, and that's me. I was giving my name. You weren't giving the name queen. It's a difference when you call yourself queen and somebody gave you the name. I was given the name. I was given the name. There's a difference. I don't sit up all day on YouTube harassing people and harassing chat members and harassing other YouTubers. I have better things to do with my time. No, tell them This man is really starting to agitate me. I've got some stuff I've got posted on marketplace for sale, and this guy is all the way in Asheville, and I don't know why he thought I was in Knoxville. He's gotten y'all confused and turned about. Hold on, you guys. I just told you I'm not going out nowhere to meet nobody. This might be a scam. I'm not meeting nobody anywhere. Thank you. Hello, Seth. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Hit the link, Seth, if you can. I don't know if you're at work or not. I'm trying to understand. I'm not trying to do all this gossip. He said, she said stuff because I don't like doing all that. But see, now y'all mentioning other YouTubers. I told y'all don't mention YouTubers' names in the channel. Went on her panel and we're saying that that was a theory they had discussed. Chris pops up and gives them sort of a pep talk. Okay. Okay, Ebony. Now that's disgusting. I'm not discussing that. I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm doing that. That's why I don't participate in the YouTube stuff because it gets out of control. And as I told you all, I'm not here to be bashing other YouTubers. I don't have that kind of time. I have more important things going on in my life. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be in that. Who said what? Who didn't say what? There are people I care for, people I don't. There's some YouTubers I watch. There's only really one YouTuber that I actually watch. He's a detective out of New York. And many of you probably know him. He's a black guy. Strategic Eyes. I watch him. I listen to his podcast. But other than that, that's the only YouTuber I listen to. And he doesn't talk about this case, which is probably a good thing. He's been on the Celeste Rivas case, but he's probably the only YouTuber that I actually watch that talks about true crime. I don't want to listen to this other garbage people are talking about. He's been trying to assassinate Sebastian from the start, so no one would look for Sebastian. Yeah, but that makes no sense because he's a child. Seth Rogers, did you check to see my email I sent you? It's very important. Hey, Kelly, what you got to say? Kelly, you was just up here talking. She talking to Seth. 47 in the house, thank you for your time. I was trying to get off this live, but nobody let me. They started coming in with the stuff. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. All of this, and it's not just this case, because I don't want to just single out Sebastian's case. Many of the cases that people start talking about on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the platform is, it's out of control with these theories and gossip and lies. I don't even want to say it's gossip, it's lies, because you don't have any proof, it's a lie. And now what you all have repeated in a chat just now, you know, I'm not going to repeat no SHIT like that. And the man that came in the chat and he's sitting here watching and listening to my live stream and he's reading this about his own child. This is what I'm talking about. This is ridiculous. And yes, the cases lose momentum, the right momentum, because of stuff like this, the he said, the she said, the gossip. And that's the whole point. Had this man not been doing stuff to Sebastian, whatever the hell he was doing, it wouldn't be nothing to talk about. It wouldn't be anything to talk about. But it is what it is. Now, Kelly, I'm trying to understand why you don't want certain things to be told out pertaining to CPS reports. People do want to hear it because they feel like it gives them some incentive uh, to make a decision about what the hell is going on in this case or any other case. Most people do want to hear if a child was abused. That's the first thing people going to ask. Well, was the child abused? Because usually that's when children go missing, when they've been abused and then they were hurt or harmed, either by accident or on purpose. But my thing is, if you beating a kid, that's not an accident to me. There's no such thing as accidentally beating somebody and then they pass away. If you weren't beating them, they wouldn't be deceased. So there's no such thing as an accidental beating. Oh, I accidentally beat him, he fell and hit his head. Or I accidentally beat him, he stopped breathing. That don't make sense. Or if you weren't beating him, the child wouldn't be deceased. It don't make no sense. He says, I'm mobile all morning. Well, hit the link, Seth. Hit the link. We've never talked. Hit the link. I was trying to reach you last year through a certain person, but nothing came of that. I don't think you wanted to talk at that time. That's understandable because I understand people don't like talking to every YouTuber and people you don't know. And I have learned getting involved with people in these true crime cases are horrible, especially when I got involved with Summer Wells case, all that mess that went on, and the guy who got involved with the Wells, and I met him through the advocator, and the advocator she was mentally inept, and they ended up falling out, and he was talking about suing her because she was saying bad things about him to other people, and hadn't made it to the social media. But once he found out, he was wanting to sue her, and he's wanting to get me involved, and I was like, I'm not getting involved in none of that. I'm trying to find this missing girl. I don't have time for that. And all that time, everybody's bickering and arguing. She's sitting up here dead up under a house in North Knoxville. See, this is why I keep trying to tell everybody, you're losing focus. All this bickering and arguing of who did what, who said what. Just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. This was disrespectful. Of course, it makes no sense, but most of this doesn't make sense. The mother leaving town right after her kid goes missing doesn't make sense. Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's the actions of the people show you their intent. I was trying to get some information and Seth about people that I have reached out to. I have contacted my local government and state representative. I'm sorry if I upset you with my comments. Well, I'm trying to understand oh Lord, I wish these people quit messaging me. Everybody wants to message me while I'm on a live stream. Yes, very repulsive. Oh, Seth is saying no, he can't talk. Okay. Allegedly, CP said something disturbing to other creators, and one came out with it. Will not repeat that stuff. Well, it's already been repeated, I think, honey. Already repeated. Well, Holly, they don't care about the child. So that's the one thing people need to understand. You don't care about the kid. So you're going to say anything about the kid, the father, whatever, because you never cared for the kid. As I said, I do believe that's why he's missing. So this is expected. Radio silence from the mother. Why? And then somebody said in the chat, yes, they're getting they're gloating from this man's misery. It's obvious. He's upset, he's ranting, he's crying on a live stream about his kid. And they're probably sitting somewhere, eating popcorn, laughing, thinking it's a joke because they didn't care for him. And yes, that's a terrible thing to say, but you see it every day. There are people who just don't care about their children. It's even hard to just repeat it. for a person to say, to say it out loud. They don't care about their kid. He don't care about his kid. She don't care about her kid. But there are people who don't care. You see the stories every day. They got a new story out now showing a house that's so deplorable. And it's not the case out of Michigan, because when I watched it last night, I thought it was the case out of Michigan. This is a new case. And I was just sitting there stunned last night when I saw that house. The toilet was filled with fecal matter. I was passed out. I said, I cannot believe they're showing this picture on the news. And they didn't bleep out nothing. There's no bleep out. No bleep out at all. Where is it, Pebbles? Holly, because he said it, and if that was true, she would be in jail for the rest of her life. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, my stomach's already turned. So many other cases I have covered that kids are still missing and the parents are chilling, don't give two F about them. And that's my point. They're not on social media. They ain't arguing with people. They ain't on podcasts, whether they're involved or not. This is not the place to be bickering with people about your child, bottom line. This is not the place to do this. Social media. You don't owe anybody an explanation about anything. When you start bickering with the people, you're just adding to the problem. Your focus should be finding your child, finding your loved one, not arguing with people on Facebook, podcast, TikTok. This is why people are demented. You going in TikTok like that Josh Marshall, David's manager. You've had nothing to say about this missing girl, but then you can go on TikTok and defend yourself. About what? You don't know anything, you're not involved. I wouldn't even respond. Because that shows you the spirit is bad. You should be talking to the news, not TikTokers. I don't know anything. I don't know. I live out of town. I don't live at the house. I got a family. I got a kid. They're distraught. You didn't say you're distraught. You said they. Well, why aren't you distraught? Who's your client? See, I keep telling you, listen to the words. The words tell you everything you need to know. How a person words their conversation. They are distraught over David. Why is your family distraught over David? Do they know him personally? You should be saying, I'm distraught over my clients having a dead girl in his trunk. Stay woke, everybody. Oh, that's the management's car. Now there's a rumor that the other Tesla, belongs to David. I've been said that. I told you all that weeks ago. I said, that bet you that Tesla is David's other Tesla, the red Tesla. Now, the YouTuber Strategic Eyes has mentioned the Tesla belongs to David, the second one. I always tell you got to pay attention. Always pay attention to what people are saying and what they're not saying. How they word the conversation. YouTube normalizes a bunch of things that aren't normal. Well, Holly, YouTube is just a title. YouTube is you and I, they, them. Just like when we say social media, we're talking about ourselves. We the people, as you see in the United States Constitution. We the people of the United States. We make YouTube. We make Facebook, IG, TikTok. We the people. We are our own worst enemy. We, us, they. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube does not exist without us. I get it. You're speaking figuratively. Facebook is horrible. YouTube is horrible. No, we are horrible. You have people who have nothing better to do but sit around and type all day. I tell you this. I tell you to your face, if you do it, you need to stop. Stop responding, replying. I mentioned that in my live the other night about people who have to reply all the time. Stop it. I used to do it all the time on Newsbreak. I'm always cussing out some white woman on there by her name is Flossie Glossy. She's always saying, racist things about Knoxville, East Knoxville. Oh, they're nothing but thugs and da 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 da. And it's like, look, heifer, there's white people that live on that side of town. This is how stupid you are, because you have stupid people out here who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then I tell myself, you're just feeding into this nonsense by even responding. Sometimes it's best you don't reply. What did I say in my live last night or the night before? Hell, I'm getting confused. There was a time when people bought newspapers. There was no Facebook. There was no YouTube. You read the article, you either liked it or you didn't. You wanted to reply to what you didn't like about that article. You could write into the newspaper, but every time Dick and Harry in town didn't know you wrote to the newspaper. Do you all understand what I'm saying? But because we have social media, you can rant on your Facebook page to some degree. You can rant on YouTube under videos, under news broadcasts. Now, people know somebody in Michigan by the name of Floppy Disk don't like Trump or don't like Biden or don't like this person on YouTube. And I keep trying to tell you, it's a dangerous game, a slippery slope. Because a lot of you use your government names and you can be found that way. You better pay attention. We learned this when I covered the West case, the boys out of California that went missing. Both foster parents, now adopted parents, are in prison for their deaths, murders. And dealing with that case, I realized how wicked people are. How wicked people are on YouTube. People that come to YouTube, shall I say. Angry at the things I was saying about the biological mother. Well, if the kids had a great mother, they wouldn't have been adopted to be murdered. I stand on that. I still stand on it. You don't like it? I don't care. Because I'm telling the damn truth. You're rallying for a woman who allowed her children to be abused, and the second one got took by the state because she wanted to chief and drink wine. How's that Angela's problem? That's not an Angela problem. That is a baby mama problem. But see, a lot of people rally behind wrongdoing. That's why they don't want you saying nothing bad about these badass parents, because they're just like them. You like to smoke and cheat and get high and hang with gangbangers. Yeah, you're going to get mad when somebody says something about a gangbanger, because you are of that like kind. So those people rallying behind the proud feet, proud foots, they're just like them. Ain't y'all figured that out? That's about a YouTuber rallying behind the proud foots. The more the merrier. Knock yourself out. That's between you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I sleep good at night. Anybody know about Queen? I don't lose sleep over nothing pertaining to YouTube. Let me make that clear. Nothing said, nasty comments. I don't care. Guess what? My cupboards are full. Did you hear what I said? Refrigerator full, freezer full, cupboards full. I got soap, I got running water, I got heat, I got air conditioning. I got a wonderful place I just moved to. You think I'm going to sit here and worry about what the fuck somebody's saying on YouTube? If I was sleeping in the gutter, I wouldn't be worried about what the fuck somebody had to say on YouTube. I don't care. Because when you are walking right and you trying to live right, you ain't worried about what nobody's saying. Let them talk. Like they say, they talk about Jesus. And what did he do on the third day? He got up out the tomb and showed the world, I'm real. Amen. We just live in a crazy world where people don't have no focus. That's my point. When you are lost, you have no direction. You focus on the negative. You focus on the chaotic part of life. And that's what you have on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. A lot of miserable people. People that like to make up stuff, lie, spread rumors. I've told you all about that. That's why a lot of people don't care for my content, because I won't spread the bullshit. I'm not spreading that filth. I'm not getting up here making up stuff about a missing 15-year-old boy, a 5-year-old kid from the holler. I won't do it, and I'm never gonna do it. I don't believe in that. And if you were once a child, which you were, you would be spreading that filth your damn self. Would you want people talking about you when you were a kid? I don't care if you had a good life or bad life. Would you like somebody to walk up here and start talking about you right now? Hey, I heard you were a bad little boy. You were a bad little girl. That would hurt your feelings, and you're a 50-year-old adult. Think, think, think. Use that thing between your ears. There's nothing somebody can come and say to me bad about a child. I don't care if they're autistic. I don't care if they're developmentally delayed. I don't care. It's a child. Point blank. And I don't want to hear nothing negative about no kid. Because it ain't nothing negative you can tell me about a kid. The child didn't ask to be here. The child didn't choose his or her parents. Bottom line. And nobody should be rallying behind anybody that has physically, mentally, verbally, sexually abused a child. If you hear their allegations of somebody mentally abusing a child, physically, verbally, sexually, you need to have your ass whooped. Because that means you are of the same caliber as the person with the allegations. And more than likely, they're probably true. Now, have people been lied on? Yes. Yes. But I don't see too many children lying about being beat up, being touched. Because that's not something you make up. Somebody touched me inappropriately. What do you know about somebody touching you inappropriately? You wouldn't. You don't feel loved or liked by your mother, your father, your foster parent. That is your opinion. Nobody can tell you, well, you're making a mistake. Well, why don't you listen to the child and see what they're saying before you call them a liar? You know, a lot of you all act like you all ain't never been kids before. And I got a feeling, and I can say this about some YouTubers, I know some YouTubers right now, I know they had jacked up lives as children. I put money on it. I put money on it. Them same ones that's always got something negative to say, always wanting to put people on the panel. Anytime Dick and Harry on the panel, you can tell them kids, them grown-ups have had some fucked up childhoods. You already know they had horrible parents, and they're probably horrible parents their damn selves. Because they're too eager to stir up trouble. And usually when you have people who are eager to stir up trouble, when you're talking about death and missing people, that's a sign that they are fucked up in the head. You're talking about sociopaths and psychopaths. Because there's no way you should get a jolt out of bringing somebody up on a panel that's abused a fucking kid. What thrill are you getting out of putting them on the panel? This ain't the Oprah Winfrey show. Fucking Dr. Phil show. It's a fucking YouTube channel. Well, I just like to invite you up. They said you did this to your kid. The next minute, you're laughing and joking with them like they're your best damn friend. Who does that? But somebody that's sick. Try to catch up on y'all comments. Exactly, Holly. Ain't no perspective. Hey, how you been? I ain't talked to you in months. Hello, Jane. Yes, a lot of people are brainwashed. I'm going back on your comments. Yes, some platforms, yeah, just business. Let's see. There's a video that came out. It's a leak of CP and KP talking to a PI 50 days in, Sebastian missing, and KP care about his wife. The PI was on her public easement. I wish some of you hit the link. I'm trying to go over you all's comments. In my opinion, some of this on YouTube is a true crime in itself. Yes, it is. That's why they end up getting sued. Empty souls. Yes, I agree. A lot of people are empty. She got him a haircut in between. Yeah, a haircut in between. I think a lot of what they do on panels is fake and performative for clicks and views, in my opinion. Well, and that's the point I've been trying to make about these platforms. There are times I myself can be animated in my conversation, but I mean well. Do you understand what I'm saying? I get heated when I get upset at foolishness. Do you understand? But I know how to calm down. That's the point. But a lot of people use live streams, YouTube, Facebook, just to perform. And there are a lot of people like that. They don't know when to turn it off. So it's an act. And yes, a lot of it's for likes and views, making up stuff, passing the information, repeating stuff without verifying. Just like a lot of the things I do in my shorts, people get mad. What are you getting mad about? Something the news said. This is something I never can understand about human beings. The news takes down information. Do you know where the news gets the information? The news gets the information from the people in the story and or the police department. A police report. They put it on the news after allegedly fact checking. So when we go in and repeat what the news said, why are you getting an attitude about what the fuck the news said? Just like the other day, I made a short about Cardi B having a new baby. I let the girl know. I didn't have to reply, but I went ahead and replied. This is my channel. I say what I want to say. And I meant what I said. She wasted no breath by having another baby. You don't have to like it. Because hell no, I don't understand a woman who's been with a cheating ass black man who can't keep his penis in his pants, and you kept making babies by him, and now you got another baby by a new man who's a pro football player, and you just met him last fall. I ain't stuttered about what I said. And I didn't say all that even in the short joke. They only give you 15 seconds, but I don't understand it. I wouldn't be thinking about having another damn baby after I just had 3 kids by a loser. That's my opinion. What are you getting upset about? Oh, you ain't the one that's going to be keeping them, and you ain't going to be the one keeping them either. Well, what you upset about? That's my opinion. This is an opinion channel. You don't have to like what I'm saying. You don't have to agree. You want you a channel? Go make you one. And you can praise Cardi B for having 4 babies. Knock yourself out. And it's not that I don't like Cardi B. I'm just saying she wasted no time by having another baby. That's what I said. I was going to do a live about it, but Cardi B likes to take people to court too. Shut your mouth. But she can't get mad if I say, oh, she had another baby. Well, she did have another baby. That's not a lie. I'm not saying anything blasphemous. Now, in the eyes of God, it's blasphemous to be having another baby out of wedlock. I'm just saying. But you get what I mean. The news reports, they give information from police reports. You can't get an attitude by what was put in a police report. You either like it, believe it, it's up to you, but you ain't got to get an attitude. And I'm noticing this now with my shorts, because I get more views in my shorts than my live streams. People are getting just an attitude because you're bringing information of something somebody did. Why the fuck are you getting an attitude over what a fool did? That's the I don't understand. Because you like Cardi B or you like Antonio Brown, another fool. You like Puff Daddy. They went down my channel making comments under that short about Puff Daddy working in the laundry. All I said was, he's now working laundry detail. What are you getting angry about that? Oh, they just hating. Let me make this clear. Hey, Big. Hey, C. Welcome, Chris Thorns in the chat. Please check out his YouTube channel. He talks about children cases on his YouTube channel. I don't give a fuck about Sean Puffy Combs. Let me make that clear. And guess what? News flash. Since everybody wants to get an attitude about Sean Puffy Combs, he's now working in the library. Now, write me a Dear John letter about that. You think I care about Sean Puffy Combs working in the laundry, working in the damn library? You know I don't care. I'm just bringing you breaking news. You either like it or you don't. But don't tell me I'm hating on him. This man has been using people, manipulating people, abusing people, raping people, children, just like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, all the rest of them. I don't care. I don't care. Because I think some of you believe that me and other people are up here losing sleep over these whack jobs. I don't. I sleep good at night. I'm not missing any sleep because Puffy is locked up in prison. Let me make that clear. I'm not losing sleep because Cardi B had another baby. It is just news, okay? So calm down. Jesus wept. I had to throw that in there. Some of you get out of control. You think somebody's upset or jealous. Why would I be jealous of a woman with 4 kids in their 30s? I'm 54. Trust me. Queen ain't jealous of having no damn babies. That I'm not. Oh, ooh. A woman with 4 kids and no husband. How about that? Yes, I'm crying myself to sleep at night. Because I want 4 kids without a husband. Get serious. She just had a baby, Holly. She just had a baby by Stephon Diggs, football player. I used to love alternative media and fringe media, but after seeing some of this on YouTube, it almost makes me want to go back to mainstream media, and that's bad. Well, that's why I said the news reports what has been told to them, and they get the information either by the parties involved, lawyers, and or the police report. So it is what it is. It's not to say that the news can't make a mistake, mispronounce a name, misspell a name, misspell a street. You understand what I'm saying? But if you want to get mad, that's my point. You go call the news, and then they'll put a correction and say, hey, we misspelled the name, we misspelled the street, or we said the street name wrong. But you don't get mad at the messenger because all this is third, fourth party information. By the time it gets to the blogger, TikToker, hell yeah, it could be twisted around and mispronounced. We all mispronounce names, say things the wrong way. Some of you come in, you get mad at that. That's not the way you say it. That ain't how you say it. Well, damn. Pull your damn drawers up and calm down. Shit. I have to work on that myself. Not getting, you know what I'm saying, uptight because something was said wrong or mispronounced. It is time for all of us to give it a break. Seriously. Have a stroke, heart attack, over something minuscule. Just stop it. And true crime it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Okay? And when you're talking about children and you're talking about real lives, you want to try to be somewhat respectful and not spread rumors and lies because in the end, these are real people, whether you like them or not, whether you heard ugly things about them, yes, they are real people. And I get it. As I just said, we're all of the flesh, we judge. And that's what we do in these podcasts. We're judging. Same thing with the news. At some point, they'll start to give their opinions, although they're not supposed to. But when you watch Banfield on News Nation, they're sliding their opinions in there. Vinny Politan, he's sliding his opinion in there. They're sliding their opinions, okay? And yes, flip side, you say something that's ugly, next thing you know, somebody wants to sue you. I can tell you now, I don't have no money. You can't sue me for anything. You can sue me for a pretty lamp. That's all you're going to get out of here. A nice picture or mirror off the wall. But I don't have any money for you to sue me for. So that's why I don't have to sit up here and go on and on about the Proudfoots, Cardi B, Sean Puffy Combs. I say what I have to say and I'm done with it. Because there's nothing that I have said about these people that was not the truth. I don't care if a person likes it or not. I ain't lied on none of these people. Cardi B had a baby by a man out of wedlock. That's not a lie. Sean Puffy Combs is locked up. That's not a lie. The Proudfoots aren't good people. That ain't a lie. So anything that I said on the live stream, prove me wrong. I'll put it like that. Prove me wrong. Who's telling the truth? Well, Janet, that's the whole point. You're entitled to your opinion of what you believe. What's the truth, not the truth? Because as I said before, people tend to rally behind people who are similar to them and people that they like. I think most of you know this. We all have, as I said, have sinned. We have lied, fornicated, and we have took up for people that we knew were doing things wrong. You have advocated for them. You even advocated for yourself. People have advocated for you when you were doing wrong. They did it because they see something in you that they like, or they have done something similar. Everybody knows this. But we're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to tell our friends, hey, that's not right what you did. That's not right what you said. You can't be sleeping with this married man or this married woman or beating on your kid or abusing your kid. You know that's not right. But see, that's the whole thing. Everybody has a difference of opinion because somebody can say, well, what I think is right, you may think is, wrong. You got people who as I was listening to a true crime program the other day where the woman is caught admitting to her lover that she had killed her husband. And I guess she was shocked that he viewed her in the wrong light, okay? And then he's trying to explain to her, like, how would you feel if I called you and told you I killed my wife? You mean to tell me you wouldn't be shocked? And then her response was, well, if she deserved it. So then he knew what he was dealing with. Do you understand what I'm saying? That even when a person knows, they know it's wrong, but they refuse to accept that what they're thinking and doing is wrong. They believe that what they're doing is right. And this is where the difference comes in. As I just said, woman cheated on her husband with the lover. She confesses to the lover, I killed my husband. And she's shocked that he is looking at her in a different light. Like she said it, I'm heartbroken that you're looking at me different. Well, hell yeah, he's looking at you different. You just confessed to murder. You just thought because he was sleeping with you that he was going to okay you knocking off your husband. Well, he didn't. He didn't. And that's my point, is that even when people are doing wrong, and you know murder is wrong, you know, you're not murdering somebody in self-defense, you're trying to fight a human off of you. You know it's wrong to just willfully go out here and kill somebody or plot the death of a human. But in your mind, if you believe it's okay to go out here and just, you know, murder people, then that's what you believe. You honestly believe it's okay. And that's, I mean, if you listen to that conversation, I mean, if you got a heart, you would be just sitting there thinking like, this lady really is crazy. She has no empathy for murdering her husband. She kept saying, oh, he's a horrible person. He's not a human. You know, she sounded like Lori Valladolid. This is a case out of Utah. She was just like, he's horrible. He's not a human. He's not a human. He changed. He's not the same person. So I was getting, you know, like Lori Daybell vibes from that recording. But nonetheless, even if he was a horrible person, he changed. He became a mean man. The best thing to do is walk away. And I said it in this live. We are all guilty of having horrible thoughts. Some of you may never admit it, that you've thought about murdering another human, taking the life of another human, because you don't want people to look at you in that way, like, oh my gosh, she's thinking about killing that guy or that lady. Hell, maybe even their own child. The point I'm making is the act, when you decide to act it out, plot it out, that's gone too far. You need to seek psychiatric help. And if it gets to the point where you are thinking about killing your spouse, your lover, somebody you used to date, they don't want you anymore, your child, whoever it is, yes, whomever, you need to get help. You can't make that right in your head. I'm going to kill this man, I'm going to kill this woman. Even if they were beating you, hurting you, if you can sit one moment and they're not putting their hands on you, that is your opportunity to run like hell. Get out. Don't throw away your life. I'm not trying to get off topic, but just seriously, because somebody needs to hear this. Because every day I go through the YouTube queue, I go through the news break, every notification is the same. Murder, 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 death, mayhem. Somebody is always doing something to somebody. It's got to stop. And I can personally tell you the things I have dealt with recently. That's why I have not been going live the past couple of weeks. It's because I have just got distracted dealing with two-legged creatures to where I hadn't even thought about YouTube. Because I was nursing grown people and listening to grown people's problems, and I got sidetracked. And I rarely let that interfere with my YouTube. But I was doing a lot of things, you know, trying to take care of some business and stuff, and then listening to other, you know, stuff that was just chaotic and just nonsense. And now that I've moved, I don't want to carry any of that baggage with me. And it seems like partial is on my back still. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want it, because I feel like I'm too old to be nursing grown-ups, to be listening at this woe is me nonsense. You know, my pain is worse than your pain, that type of nonsense. I'm sick of hearing it. You can't tell me your pain is worse than my pain because you're not in my body. You don't know what I got going on. I haven't told many of you I've gotten muscle cramps now that are excruciating since having the thyroid surgery. And when I listen to somebody tell me how bad their body feels that, oh, you don't know what it's like. And I was in a car wreck and I was paralyzed and I'm still having problems. And I'm just looking at them like, okay, I feel bad for you, but don't try to minimize what I'm going through versus what you're going through. This is when you know you're dealing with a narcissist. This is why I keep telling you the stuff that I could really tell on the live stream. A lot of you be like, Queen, why are you dealing with this? Trust me, I beat myself up every day. Attracting, navigating towards bullshit. I want it to stop. Just like I want to stop hearing about these horrible stories pertaining to children. There comes a point when you just say, enough's enough. Now, I don't have control over the universe, but I do have control over my own self. So that's why I said I have my own work in progress. I have my own demons, my own issues that I have to work on. And so coming to YouTube and listening to all this old nonsense, hell no, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of this. Because in the end, these are real people. Whether you like the participants in the story or not, they are real. And I'm not trying to get involved with any of them. I'm just going to be truthful. I feel bad for Seth. I feel bad that his child is missing. And I hate to hear that his child is deceased. But I also have to use common sense if I'm to believe that the child's alive. Then where is he and who has him and why is he there? And if he left a situation that's bad, what makes you all think that where he went to alive would be any better? That's why I'm telling people you got to think about what you're saying. I hope he's alive. I hope he's alive. Okay, then where is he alive and why is he with those people? And look where he came from. Use your head. If he left people who are mistreating him, they would be the orchestrators to send him somewhere. You think that place would be better than where he just came from? Probably not. Probably not. You think the social pass on here? Victim Olympics. I like that. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. Yes, it drains your own batteries. That is so true. It's like they take real people who are going through real problems and they make like a game, make like a game out of it. It's so weird to me. Well, we have people like that. And you do see a lot of that on social media. People don't take things seriously. Everything's a joke. Everything, like going through Facebook, and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm already 2 hours and 23 minutes. The things that people post on social media, the rant and the raving going off about this and that, family problems. One thing I don't believe in is posting your family problems on social media. I don't believe in telling that your husband's cheating on you. I don't believe in you telling the world that you and your sister fell out, name calling your sister dirty names, brothers and sisters. I don't believe in that type of shit. That's one thing. That's how people end up dead. You don't name the name. Don't ever name the name. Once you name the name, can't take it back. You can delete the post, but people have already read it. You understand? And they've shared it. That's what people don't understand. People share your posts. People share your pictures. You don't know what people are doing with your posts and your pictures. Stay woke. You have to think before you post, before you speak. And that includes me. Things I say up here on YouTube. It's all the same. But there's a time and a place for everything. And nobody seems to get that. Arguing about family drama on social media, that's not the place for that. Don't do that. Don't talk about your mom and dad on the internet, your sister, your husband left you. Don't talk about that. You want to post, I'm having a bad day today, pray for me. That's fine. But nobody needs to know that your husband came in smelling like perfume. He had one shoe missing. You understand what I'm saying? The theatrics. Save that for the therapist. Telling your personal business to people in general. I talked about this in another live. I'm going to say it again before I check out of here because somebody needs to hear this. Stop wallowing in your shit in public, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever the hell you like to talk. Give it a rest. Stop telling all of your business. People don't need to know everything you've gone through. I'm not going to share everything I've gone through in the past couple of weeks on the live stream because it's really not necessary. I'll give you a for instance, but you don't even know if it's something I'm talking about pertaining to me or the guy across the street. Because everything doesn't need a label. Everything ain't worth repeating either. But please keep something sacred to yourself. Because I said I was going to come back on the live last night, but I was sleepy. But there's some things I've experienced in the past couple weeks, and it's sad to me because the thing that this one person don't seem to understand is that everybody has a journey. Everybody has had personal problems, but it don't mean you talk about it every day. I've never seen people that every fucking day, and these are two guys that I've encountered, they have to talk about what has happened to them. What happened yesterday? What happened 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Why does it need to come up in every conversation? Shit like that just irks me. I haven't once got on the live stream since I had surgery and just detailed everything that's happened since my surgery back in July. I have not. Because I don't want to. Because one, is none of your business. But I've encountered two people recently. They cannot hold a conversation without talking about what happened last year, what happened in a car wreck, how they feel right now. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. You're in pain. So am I. We're even. Oh, what happened to me when I was a kid? Oh, what happened? My mother did this. She deserted me. She was a drug addict. I mean, how many times can you tell a person that? Then start crying. Oh my God, I could go on and on. I have to do another live to tell you about this situation with this person. A grown man crying about what their mother did to them as a kid. They were felt neglected. How many times can you talk about that? You got issues from, you need to go see a therapist. But guess what? The mailman don't want to hear it. Angela don't want to hear it. The lady at the checkout, she don't want to hear it. Because you know what? You can't use it every time you fuck up. You say something out of the way to somebody. You want to cry about what your mom did. You want to cry that you have a mental problem. You have a mental disorder. So, well, if you have a mental disorder, then you might need to focus on trying to better yourself and take your meds instead of wilding out and flipping out on a person. It's awfully convenient that a person can talk about their mental, what happened to them when they was a child, but then the next minute they're talking crazy to you, calling you out your name. See where I'm going? So who am I talking to? I'm talking to the mental patient, or I'm talking to a sadist. Which one? Or I'm talking to both. Sound like that. 1 minute you're on your knees crying, and the next minute you're screaming and hollering at a person. So see, the old saying, you have to choose your battles, is very true. You have to know when to fold. And I think somebody in this audience needs to hear this. And I'm one of those persons. You got to know when to fold and cut your losses and tell yourself that you're worthy and you deserve better. And I think right now, when I think of this Sebastian case, I'm sure every day Seth beats himself up from the decisions he has also made. Do you understand what I'm saying? He doesn't have to tell that on a live stream. But I'm sure he thinks about it all the time. How did I get in this space? How did I get in this place in the universe to have a whole child missing? What did I do to get to this place? I know he questions that. How could he not? And as I said, it's a place that nobody should ever be, and a place that nobody should ever want to be. But you have to own the part you play, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And Dr. Phil used to say that all the time on his show, but it is so true. You will never get to a better place until you own your shit. You own how you act, how you talk, how you respond. Because what happened yesterday, you'll be back in that situation again tomorrow. You have to tell yourself what I'm willing to tolerate, what I'm not willing to tolerate. What I need to change about myself, my response, how I react. Or I'll be back where I was yesterday. And that's what I have to tell myself. I have to change my response, or I will never move forward and get to a better place. There's a couple of YouTubers on here that do the most repulsive, vile, abusive shit to others, and then when they're called out, they bring up their childhood trauma or their kids. In my opinion, a lot of it's probably made up. Could be Holly. And that's another thing. You can't prove it. You don't know that it's true. And I have said that to myself. Very good point you made. You know how you go through the YouTube queue and videos come up and you listen to people's stories. They might be talking about what they're going through, this and that. And sometimes I wonder if this is true or not. But there's one young lady on here, and I'm gonna get off here now. There's one black lady on here. She's new to YouTube, and she was going through some things the past couple of months, traveling out west because she was homeless in the South, and she had a grown son, teenage son with her, and she took him out west, and her car ended up breaking down, so she ended up living in Arizona instead of going to California. But I'm sure people questioned her if what she was saying was the truth. Because I think she mentioned that in one of the live streams, that some people thought maybe she was making stuff up in her commentary. But that's what she has to understand, that as nice as she sounds in her commentary, there are going to be people who are not going to believe what you're saying. Just like something I might be saying in this live stream pertaining to personal things I've witnessed myself and other people. You don't have to believe that it's true. You could think, oh, she's making that up. I remember years ago when I had that issue with my car. Somebody had wrecked my car, and somebody came in the chat and said, you know what happened to your car. You know what happened. And I was like, I don't owe you an explanation about shit, because I didn't even have to share it in the first place. If I tell you that somebody took my car and it wrecked, I can't tell you that they wrecked it or somebody hit the car. I can only tell you what they told me, but I don't have to explain myself. So I get it, nobody wants to be called a liar about their own fucking trauma. But you're going to have people who are going to question anything that you say. And it goes back to what I said about talking about true crime itself. People get mad at what the news has already verified. So that just goes to show you how ignorant people are. They're not going to believe anything you say. Whether it was verified, it's your own truth, they don't have to believe it. And frankly, you don't have to make them try. So long as you know the truth to your best of your ability, that's all that matters. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I've seen lots of stories in the YouTube queue from people, people who don't even talk about true crime. They might have a commentary about, DIY hacks and decorating their homes, and they might share something about their life that's going on. Because a lot of these people I've seen women, they're now divorced. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people who have been moving a lot, house to house, house to condo. And I was like, damn, I thought I was moving a lot. But then you start hearing these other stories of people moving a lot. And you're wondering, what's the truth to their story? If they're telling you the truth. You don't know. You may never know the truth. But it's up to you to decide if you want to believe them or not. If you don't want to believe them, don't watch their content. And that's what I tell you about YouTube in general. You don't like the person that's speaking, stop watching them. I watch a certain person's channel and I listen to, oh God, I listen to her. I read the headline on her channel. It'll say, comment with kindness. And I have a problem commenting with kindness because I can't understand just the mindset of the people that she deals with. She helps people organize their houses. Okay, I'm gonna say it like that. And it's just some of the stuff that I'm looking at. I'm just trying to understand how these people get to this point. Because as most of you know, I'm a minimalist. I don't have a lot of stuff in my house. Now that you know that I moved, I didn't take, some of the stuff with me. But I don't believe in a lot of stuff. I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't care for a lot of stuff. I like nice things, but I don't want a lot of stuff. I just don't. Too much stuff makes me nervous. But anywho, I watched this one white lady, and she's very nice. She's very, diplomatic to her clients. But what I can't understand, and that's just my opinion, how the people get in the situation to have all the stuff they got. And then the storytelling about the stuff, which when you watch hoarders, they'll tell you that's what people do. They got to touch it, feel it, and keep talking about it when they should be throwing it in a bin. But they got to tell you how they got it, and that annoys the fuck out of me. Don't pay me no mind. But that just is something that irritates me. I was watching a lady, picking up the paper bags, and she just kept touching them. And you should have seen me yesterday, because the show comes on Sundays. I was screaming in this apartment, like, lady, put that bag down, please. How many times are you going to touch that paper bag? Why are you touching it? Flipping it over like the bag was going to start talking and doing tricks. Oh, it was so annoying. But the lady has patience, and she has patience that Queen don't have. Because I've told myself that every time I watch these shows, I couldn't personally help somebody declutter their house because I would lose my mind and I would lose my religion. And that I would say something very ugly, such as, how long are you going to keep holding that paper bag? Will you please put the paper bag down, ma'am? I don't want to hear no more stories about the paper bag, ma'am. Donate the paper bags, ma'am. That's just me. And that's the whole point. Everybody's not cut out for certain jobs. I've done that kind of work before. I've done all kinds of work, as most of you know. I've worked with persons with disabilities, men in rehab. I've cleaned houses. I've done all that. I don't have that kind of patience now to do neither, especially clean houses or help somebody declutter something. Because I'm not going to stand there and let you spin me a story or where you got that purse from, that coat, that jacket, and we're standing there 20 minutes later, and you can't decide if you want to donate it, throw it away, shred it. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just me giving you a little, for instance, type of content I watch on YouTube. I don't watch other true crime stuff on YouTube. If I watch anything pertaining to true crime, it's Banfield, documentaries, Oxygen, things like that. First 48 hours, Dateline. That's what I watch. But the decluttering I watch to keep me in a grounded space, not to acquire a lot of junk myself. Because I do like things, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to barricade myself in my own house. So I watch those shows to keep me grounded. And when I watch the shows and I watch the people trying to help the people get rid of the stuff, I realize you have to have a lot of patience. So one of the ladies I do watch on Sundays, I don't know how she does it. I wasn't trying to get off the subject, but I don't know how she does it. I don't. I don't know how she does it. And you'll read the comments. A lot of the people are very nice. They'll say a lot of nice things like, "Oh, you're such a nice person, and you're so nice for helping him clean their house, declutter their house." And I be itching to comment, but I won't comment because I know what I'm going to say is not going to be nice. I'm going to tell her, why don't you just be firm and tell the people, you have got to throw this stuff out. Donate it, give it away, but we cannot sit here and waste an hour of filming of you touching a paper bag. And I'm not trying to be funny, but if you watch the episode, you'll be like, oh my God, you'll be pulling out your hair. Because I looked at the time clock yesterday, before I started watching the video, during the video, and I have to actually fast forward through her commentary because it's mind-boggling to waste 1 hour of filming and they were only in one corner of the kitchen, my right hand to God. And even when I was looking at the shelves, first thing I said to myself, I said, I wonder if those shelves are sturdy, because she had all these bowls and stuff stacked up on the shelves. And I'd be damned if that girl didn't went touch that damn shelf and the bowls were getting ready to topple over. And I said, see, Queen knew it. Too much stuff on the shelf. I wanted to comment, take the shelves off the wall. Put some spackle up there, paint it, repaint the walls, and don't put nothing up there but a damn picture. You don't need those shelves. You don't need those bowls anymore. Let it go. Free yourself. You have a small area in the kitchen and you are junking it up with shelves of old stuff you're not using. The shelves aren't sturdy. The wood that's on the racks, you got this brown thing on the mirrored wall. Man, get rid of that stuff and free yourself. Let it go. I say this too, it's all subject of what we're talking about with Seth, but when you go through a traumatic situation such as a flood or a fire, you don't have those things anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're gone. You can't get them back. That's how you should view your house. When you start to see it accumulating, you say to yourself, if there was a fire or a flood, what can I grab out of here while trying to save my own life? I want you to think about that when you get off this live stream. If you have a cluttered house, cluttered room, if there was a flood or fire at this moment, what are you grabbing to get out of the house? Okay? Probably nothing. That's what you need to think of, a blank slate. Because I think a lot of people need a blank slate. People who have their houses crowded and full of stuff, you don't need all that stuff. Maybe that's what some people need. Just clear the whole damn room out. Start over. And I think a lot of that when I watch these shows, like maybe they need a blank slate. They just take everything, push it out the damn door, and just stand in that empty room and say, what do I need in this space before they bring anything back in there? Because a lot of times, especially these shows I watch this in the UK, they'll clear the rooms out, but they'll still have a lot of knickknacks. And you have to ask yourself, do you need all that stuff? And you also have to think about a worst case scenario. If you get sick, you get hurt, you're not going to think about your house at all. And if you pass away, you are leaving a burden for somebody else. Okay? So also think about that if you have a cluttered home. Do I want to leave this burden for my children, my family members? And also, you don't want to be in a cluttered house in case you get sick, you fall, hurt, have a seizure, stroke. Will the people be able to find you in your house, in your clutter? Thank you, Holly. Oh yeah, A&E, yeah. Jackie's a crazy with the cat. Say what? Oh my God, never in a million years would I have the patience for that would make me crawl out of my skin. Okay. Some of the recipes and the backstory. But that's what I'm saying. It sometimes it's hard, trying to get patience for stuff. But yes, they say it's an illness. Holly says she takes things to the goodwill, and that's a good thing to do. As most of you know, I don't like a lot of stuff. I don't like a lot of clutter. Yes, Jackie, you have to have discernment, but everybody's not born with it. And going back on your comments, yes, you're right. A lot of people have lied in their commentary on YouTube, and the people will still follow them. And I used to question that uh, a lot over the years doing YouTube when they found out that people were lying and spreading the rumors and lies and stuff. Why are these people still following them and donating to their channel? But people do, as I just told you, like minds. I think of one person I know on YouTube. He has sued half of America, and yet people still watch his content pertaining to Sebastian Rogers and other cases. And I'm just sit there looking like, how are these people getting all these likes and views? And they lie and manipulate. Why are you all watching their content? I don't. It's baffling to me. I work hard for my content. I always try to do research before I go live. I always try to make sure I read the latest information before going live. But as I always tell you, when you're talking about true crime, anything can change at a drop of a hat. You can do research before you go live, but something could change just as you go live. But I still like to, bring a little bit of research and verification, bring you a news outlet. So in case you ask me, well, where did you hear that? I can tell you where to find it. And you don't think I'm just, making up something. But a lot of people who give commentary on YouTube, they don't back search nothing. They just talk. They listen to stuff their chat members say, stuff people send them in emails, messages with no fact checking, no verification, and then just put it in a title in the video and run with it. I don't do that. And that's why sometimes it's best if you just ask a question in the title instead of making it a blank statement. Because somebody's always going to come in and say, well, that's not true. That didn't happen. And as I said, like minds, people don't like you talking about something that they can relate to or they are similar to that situation. That's the reason why a lot of people get upset with commentary. I've noticed that. Especially when you're talking about famous people. You don't even know those people. Just like they'll tell me, you don't even know her. And I say, well, you don't know her either. What's your point? You're rallying for people you don't know nothing about. You're getting upset because somebody broke the news and said somebody had a baby or somebody bought a new car or somebody got a new husband or got divorced. What are you getting upset for? I'm not talking about you. Oh, you all are so nosy. But yet you're on YouTube. Have you ever heard that? Them saying, oh, you're nosy. You're talking about somebody's business. Okay, well, then why are you on YouTube? You make yourself sound stupid. You're on YouTube going into somebody's video or short, and then you're judging them for making a video about something that was broke to the news. Why are y'all talking about that? Who cares about Puffy? Who cares about such and such? Well, you must care. You read the video. I don't even have to give my opinion in some of the shorts. I can just say such and such divorced her husband, and then somebody comes in and gets mad. Well, why are you getting mad? It's the most baffling thing. People are interesting creatures, I must say. But I'm not going to stop doing what I do. If somebody died today and I want to put it in a short, I'll put it in a short. If I want to put it in a live stream, I will. You either like it or you don't. But to get angry because somebody said, hey, such and such was arrested, why would that bother you? I don't understand. I remember I told a guy that years ago, he had commented under one of my videos about this lady who shot these guys at a cigar lounge outside of Chicago. Allegedly, she had been dating one of the guys that was sitting at the table that she shot up. He died, and this guy commented, and he was talking about the guy who used to be a state trooper, and he was saying, "Oh, he was a nice guy, blah blah blah. She's crazy. Why are you talking about this?" And I said, "What is your problem? This is my channel. This is a breaking news story, and I'm bringing what the news reported. If you have a problem with the content, then you go take it up with the news." I never said anything bad about the guy. All I said was, why did she kill these men at this cigar lounge? I think most people were asking the same damn question. Why are these men dead? What made this lady get up from the back of a cigar lounge and walk up to this table and shoot the men at the table? What fool would not ask why she did that? Just because you knew one of the guys, you don't have a right to tell me I shouldn't be talking about it. I have every right to talk about it. It was a news story. It was a news story. And to this day, I still question why she shot that man and those other men. And long story short, when the detectives went to her house, she had a list of people on the wall who I believe she had on a hit list. And they contacted one of those men to tell him his name was on her wall. So you're talking about a woman who obviously had some mental issues. Something was bothering her. She had a vendetta against these men, these people, and the story made the news. Simple as that. And I'm going to continue to bring you the news. I will continue to give you my opinion. You either agree or you disagree. And at any moment when I bring you my opinion, I have the right to change my opinion. And that's that. All right, everybody, almost 3 hours. Thank you for your time. I'm going to put a movie up for the week. I'm going to try to pretend I didn't read certain things in this live stream that you all have repeated, because one thing repeated in this live was just deplorable and just sadistic. And I don't know why anyone would ever repeat such disgusting commentary about a child and his own mother. Now, it's not to say people do not engage in incest, but come on. Just stop it. It's disgusting. And I hate that Seth even had to read that. He's probably already seen that type of nonsense before, but it's still disgusting. I'll be back with more stimulating content and information. I'm going to bring you all a poll, some information about Puffy. I got to put a short up about him working in the library. And what I said last night, I guess they thought we better put him somewhere safer. We don't want him trying to break out of prison, him rolling around in a laundry cart covered up with dirty laundry, trying to break out of prison. I don't think he'd be stupid enough to do that, because then he'd get more time. But I also saw an article yesterday that says he may possibly do more time than expected. Not really sure. Oh, I think that was about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, yeah. They're saying he might face 30 years instead of 15 years for attempted murder. That's the latest information coming out of Miami. Antonio Brown, a former NFL player, is back in trouble with the law again. He had an altercation a little while ago where a gun was pulled out, and he has now been charged with attempted murder. And he posted bond recently, and he is now wearing a ankle bracelet, which that's not a surprise because he wore one a few years ago for an altercation. He just cannot seem to stay out of trouble. Remember, I brought you all that story years ago when I first came to YouTube about him beating up the guy that brought his furniture from California to Miami. He ended up having an altercation with the driver, the delivery driver. Oh my God, I can't even remember what that mess was about. But anyway, when the truck pulled up, he had an altercation with the driver. He ended up, I think, punching the driver. He has an issue with violence. He's had an issue with baby mama, putting her out. That's one video I brought you a few years ago where he put her outside the house, threw her out of the house. The man has just got a bad attitude. And he's fucked up his whole NFL career because he couldn't stay out of trouble and nobody wanted to keep him on a team. And I get it. You keep breaking the law. Hell no, we're not going to leave you. We're not going to give you the opportunity to make money and work for our franchise because you can't stay out of trouble. So he messed up his own career. And I doubt that anybody would sign him now because he's getting older and he obviously has anger management issues. And that's not somebody you want on your football team. And frankly, if he didn't do football, he's not somebody you want working for you at all, doing anything. I don't care if he's working at McDonald's. You don't have self-control. No, you don't need to be working. I mentioned in my live last night about that incident in North Carolina about the turkey. Some of you may not have heard of this incident. I kind of went on and on about the guy not being able to do math. The first few minutes of that live, while he got in an altercation with the lady at the store at Food Line about the turkey being 29 cents a pound. The issue was he had to spend $35 in order to get the turkey for 29 cents a pound. And I kind of went on and on and on about him not being able to count. Because I kept saying, well, you multiply 29 cents times the weight of the turkey. That wasn't really the issue. The issue was he didn't understand. In order to get the turkey for 29 cents a pound, he had to pay $35. Long story short, a guy intervened on the employee's behalf because she's being berated by this man. The two guys got in a fight. One pulled a gun out on the other. They got to fighting. They took it outside. Each got a gun. And one was shot in the arm, went to the hospital, and they both have been arrested and charged with causing a ruckus to the public. Feel free to check out that live from last night to get that information. This happened in High Point, North Carolina at a Food Line. And there's a black lady in the video. It's on my community page if you want to watch it. And she's discussing what happened last Thursday at the Food Line. It's a very disturbing story. And it just goes to show you how people can misunderstand a situation and how it can get out of hand. Had he not went on and on arguing with her, the other guy would have never jumped in. See, this is why I always say one thing begets another. Had he just said, hey, I don't understand what you're saying, she could have said, well, I'll go get a manager and maybe they can explain it to you better. But he kept getting, irate. Another person intervenes, and then there was gunplay. And it's just a sad situation of a person not understanding they had to spend $35 in the store in order to get the turkey for 29 cents a pound, which would have been like $4.64. If you don't know something, just ask. You don't understand it, just say I don't understand it. But you don't have to curse a person out and call them names and, embarrass them at their job because you don't understand something. Because somebody could have died last Thursday. In grace of God, it was only a shot to the arm. And nobody should have had to be fighting, getting guns out over a damn turkey. That's my commentary about it. You all have a wonderful week. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Sorry I veered off. That's Queen. Thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate everybody here. I'll try to come back a little later on with some more stimulating commentary. See you guys later.